What's up? Okay, in theory, we're live. Let me just move some of the stuff out of the way. Alrighty. It should be good. Sorry about that, folks. This is my first time streaming on YouTube. Alright. Well, it seems to be working, actually. Oh, I guess I should be, I should name it too, huh? Hold on. Sorry, I don't really know what I'm doing. Okay, let's get back to this. There we go. Alright. Okay. Yeah, this is my first time streaming video games on YouTube. I should actually tweet it out too. Sorry, this is the worst ever. Streaming some Donkey Kong Country on YouTube. Okay, now we can actually get going. I was saying earlier in my little update that I normally play on Twitch, and I decided it would be fun if I went on YouTube because I'm trying new things out. And I know some people stream on YouTube, and I wouldn't say I necessarily hate Twitch. Well, I kind of do, actually. Oh shit. But I was streaming on Mixer for a while, and that was actually really good. I liked that platform, and so of course Microsoft had to go and shut it down. So then I did a couple streams back on Twitch, and it's fine. I'm just, like I said, I'm trying new things. If I end up actually liking this, then I'm gonna stick to YouTube, but we'll see. Anyways, I'm playing Donkey Kong Country. I've been wanting to play it again. I've played this one before on stream, and I think I beat it on stream. And I was gonna play the other two, but I'm that kind of person where if I haven't, I kind of have to do them chronologically, and if I haven't played it in a while, I have to just go back and redo it. I'm actually gonna farm. Actually, I'll just do this world, and then we'll go back and farm lives, because this game is really hard. So I need as many lives as I can get. And I'll probably cheat, too. You might not like that, but I don't care. The way that they do the lives in this game is basically, you know, if you don't get to, like in Super Mario World, you know, if you die, you get a game. Basically, if you get a game over, you go back to the beginning of the world, and you have to do all those levels over again. Well, in this game, there's some save points randomly located, so if you die, you might have to go back even farther than that, and I think that's bullshit, so I'll just put save states in. Yeah. So I've been wanting to get back to play these old retro games. I've been having a hankering for them. A good old-fashioned hankering. I want to play these. I wanted to play some of the Mario games. I wanted to play Diddy Kong Racing again, even though I actually just played that a couple months ago. But I'm pretty good at that game, so that would be a fun one to actually stream. I want to play Earthworm Jim. And a game that I've actually never played that I've always wanted to play is Vector Man for the Sega Genesis. Sorry, I'm like losing my train of thought. I haven't streamed in a while, so you're gonna have to forgive me. I'm a little like spacey. Probably won't be streaming for too long, but I still wanted to get something up just as a test, you know? Hold on one second. Okay. Sorry about that. Man, this game is great. You know, it's funny, I love this game so much. I love this series so much. I used to actually really dislike this series because, well, this game came out in 1994, so I was too young when it came out to have, like, you know, kind of played it as it came out, basically. And I always played Donkey Kong 64 for the N64, which I know not a lot of people like because it's very tedious. But I love that game. I have a huge nostalgic connection to that game. I know it's like, it's not fun to play, but I really like it. And, so my understanding of the Donkey Kong series was that it was a 3D platformer, so when I saw that there were other games in the series and they were these, you know, kind of older side-scrolling kind of games, I thought, well, that's lame. So I always kind of was like, these aren't very good. And then when I actually gave them a chance, I'm like, oh no, I see why people like these games. They're fantastic. So anyways, not sure if anyone's going to show up tonight. I'm not sure. I have absolutely no, like, I'm anticipating nothing. I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't know if I'll get new people or how the visibility will work. I have absolutely no clue. I don't know if any of my regular subscribers will show up. And they'll be like, dude, what are you doing? Why aren't you talking about colognes? Which, by the way, if anybody watches this afterwards who's new to my channel or is watching, this is normally totally about colognes on this channel. But like I was saying, for a while, I've been wanting to, you know, do other things. And I don't want to scare anyone off. Like, I'm gonna mostly be talking about colognes still, but there's been so much stuff that I've wanted to do that I just kind of haven't, because I started to actually get people watching with the whole cologne thing, which is something I never thought that I would. Never thought I would ever talk about. So, you know, but I want to get back into this shit. Oh, there'll be lots of profanity, too. I should point that out. And shit. And I know, like I said, I'm not paying attention very well. I need to get a little better at that. I used to stream all the time, actually. Like 2015 or so. Excuse me, sorry about that. Oh shit. 2015 or so was when I really started streaming. Shit. And, damn. I was streaming Bloodborne. I was streaming Dark Souls and stuff like that, and that was like, I was streaming a lot, constantly. So for a while, I was streaming like on a consistent basis, and I actually kept that going for quite a while. And then I stopped, and I don't really remember why I stopped. I kind of stopped streaming consistently, then I started back up again, and it was a little bit more consistent. So I would basically, I would stream consistently, and then I would like take a break and then come back. And then I pretty much completely stopped streaming for quite a while, and I don't know why. I really don't remember why I stopped. But I did, and then it was kind of sporadic. Like, it'd be like maybe a couple times a year. So I always say that I want to get back into it and be consistent, but I know that like that's never the case. I know it's like, fuck. But you know, I do when I can. It's funny too, because I've actually been home a lot because of the quarantine, and I feel like I would have more time to stream, and I just haven't, so I don't know. But these are the kind of games that I like to play, even though obviously this is really difficult and I'm swearing a lot and everything, but these are the kind of games that like I just love, man. Even though I'm not good at them. I wouldn't say I'm good. I'm not a pro Donkey Kong Country player. You don't come here to watch me like speedrun this game. I'm just here to like hang out. Oh yeah, I remember this. Some of the secret areas in this game are like ridiculous. Fuck. Well, there goes that. Also, again, I know absolutely nothing about streaming on YouTube, so I have the comments pulled up, and I don't know if like that is the live chat. Like I said, I'm really green here, but hopefully I didn't miss anything. If I don't respond to your comment, just keep posting it. I'll respond eventually. I was kind of hoping that I could get through the first 2 worlds in this stream. I don't know if that'll happen. That would be cool though if that happened. After I beat this world though, I am gonna do some grinding to get some lives, because this game is fucking hard. Man, this shit's hard. It's funny too, because this is like one of the first couple levels. I mean, this game gets like really hard really fast. It's fucking crazy. So I played this one. I've played Donkey Kong, or the second game, which is called Diddy's Kong Quest. That one was definitely harder, and I've never played the third one. And then I played, excuse me, I'm yawning, I'm a little tired. I've played Donkey Kong Country Returns, which was on the Wii, and I thought that was amazing. Except it had a really stupid mechanic where in order to roll you had to shake the Joy-Con. Or not the Joy-Con, the Wiimote. You used the Wiimote on its side, but you had to shake it to roll, and I hated that. It was so stupid. But you know, it was still an amazing game. And then I played Tropical Freeze, which I also thought was really, really good. And that's the latest one, and I don't know, who knows. Nintendo doesn't make these, they just publish them as far as I know. I don't even remember which company made Returns and Tropical Freeze, but they did a really good job. I think that they missed out on a little bit of the aesthetic from these games, but I think they did a pretty phenomenal job. But I mean, it's been quite a while since Tropical Freeze came out, and we haven't gotten a new game, so I'm not holding my breath or anything. I mean, they put out Tropical Freeze on the Switch, so that's probably Nintendo's way of saying, like, that's all you're getting for a while. Because they love to do that. They love to take franchises that people really love and then not give them new games. First infamous Minecart level. This one's kind of tricky because some of the jumping is a little bit weird in it. You have to kind of jump later than you think you do. I'm using a 8-bit dough, or 8-bit do, however you want to say it. I say 8-bit dough. 8-bit dough controller. Oh, rats. It's basically a Super Nintendo controller, except it has a couple extra buttons on it, and it has joysticks. So it's got 2 joysticks, and then it's got, instead of just the standard L and R shoulder buttons like a Super Nintendo controller, it's got 2 extra triggers on the back that are really small. They're not like big triggers or anything, but they're there. And then it's got like 2 extra buttons for like home and share, basically, and it's got a turbo button as well. And it basically lets you can play any game with it because of all the extra buttons. It'll pretty much handle any modern game. But it doesn't look like Frankenstein-like or anything, you know, with all the extra buttons. It's still like really a small form factor. Even with the joysticks, it doesn't bother me at all. Like they don't feel weird or anything, and it looks like a Super Nintendo controller. It's wired too. Shit. But they also make wireless ones. I always mess these jumps up. A lot of people like these controllers, and then they make a wireless one. They make one with like grips on it, so that looks a little bit more like a standard controller. And they make one that's like an NES one with a couple extra buttons. They make a Genesis one, like a redesigned Genesis controller. That one seems like a little unnecessary for me to have because I can play the Genesis games fine with my the Super Nintendo one that I have. But the Genesis controller to me is like, man, I'm bad at those. Super comfortable. I love the Genesis controller, and I love sorry, I'm like so sidetracked. The D-pad on the Genesis. Damn it. I always love the D-pad on the Genesis controller. Like I said, I'm not the greatest Donkey Kong player, but I'm just having some fun. Well, I hope I can kind of do this consistently. Like I said, it's not going to be super long tonight. I just wanted to, like, get it going. And also, I always say this whenever I stream, if there's audio issues, please let me know. Like, if something doesn't sound right, let me know, because audio is always my Achilles heel when it comes to streaming, probably with a lot of people. Like, the game was either too loud, or my voice is overpowering, or, you know, so. And I always do kind of actually, at least for these games, these retro games, I try to actually have the game audio a little quieter than I would normally, just because it's kind of background fodder. But, you know, still, let me know. Obviously, there's some great music in these games. It's this one especially. David Wise did the music. Man, I've done this level so many times, you would think that it's like second nature to me. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know. I've been really wanting to do this for a while. I've made there we go. I've made a couple videos about wanting to do different things, and I just never did them. I always stuck with Cologne. I've uploaded a couple music videos, which I'm sure some people have seen, because, you know, I'm a musician, so it's always been like wanted to add whatever I'm working on. Things like that. Oh, I remember this level. Oh yeah, this level's a little tricky. But obviously, video games are a huge hobby of mine. To be honest, video games are probably a bigger hobby of mine than Cologne, which is funny. Although Cologne is... Well, that was dumb. Cologne has become a really, really big hobby of mine, but video games have been, you know, a fan of since I was a little kid. Oh, I didn't even check how many lives I had. Oh, because I said I was going to go back and do Farm for Lives. Which I didn't. Because I forgot. The thing that's funny is, like, I've always found funny about these games, is that Donkey Kong is only in the first game. Like, it's Donkey Kong and Diddy. The second game is Diddy and Dixie. And then the third game is... Shit. Not shit. The third game is Dixie Kong and Junior Kong, or Kitty Kong, I think. And then, like, in this game, arguably, like Diddy is, like, almost everybody uses Diddy. I think Diddy's a lot better. And then in the second game, Dixie Kong's a lot better. Sorry, this is probably, like, the worst stream you've ever seen in your life. I'm, like, not paying attention. I'm so sorry. I used to be able to do this shit. I used to do, like, when I first started streaming, the first game I streamed was Bloodborne, because that was, like, had just came out, and I was, like, obsessed with that game. I thought it was, like, so fucking good. I mean, I still do, but I was, like, really digging that game. And then I was just, it's all I played for a period of time. I just literally couldn't stop playing it. And then I got this idea from this speedrunner to do a one-handed run, because he did a one-handed run of Dark Souls 2, and I was like, huh, that's interesting. I'm gonna do a one-handed run of Bloodborne. So I did a stream of that. I played through the whole game one-handed, and that got some traction, and that kind of, like, people were, like, watching that, and then that kind of kept going with the streaming. Oh shit. I haven't really played any modern games recently. I know that's, like, I always say that, and I feel like I'm being like a hipster or something who doesn't play any modern games. Don't get me wrong, like, I'm not the kind of like, I don't just play retro games, I just prefer them. Like, I play plenty of modern games. Fuck. But I don't, like, I'm not interested in. There's been so much I just don't care about. I don't know, like, I like, the practices, like, modern gaming practices piss me off, and then I always find that games are underwhelming, and I just, like, I haven't been interested in anything. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, Red Dead Redemption 2 was probably the last game to come out that I was, like, really excited for, and I loved that game. I thought that game was fantastic. In fact, I think that was one of the best games I've ever played. I'm not doing well in this level, huh? Yeah, I love that game. But that came out in 2018, like in October or November, sometime around there. And that was really the last game that came out that I was like really fucking digging. Nothing's really caught my eye. Like Death Stranding was a big one. I couldn't care less about that. I'm trying to think. I don't even know. Like I can't even think of stuff that's come out. Like Ghost of Tsushima came out like a couple days ago, and that's been getting fairly good reviews. But I can't play it. Obviously, I don't have a PlayStation. But that's getting fairly good reviews. And I'm like, I am not interested in that at all. I don't know why. Well, for one, people say that it's kind of like Assassin's Creed a little bit, and I just don't, that's not my jam. I don't know. I'm not saying that like that game has like, you know, issues or something. Well, that was not smart of me, but damn it, dude. This part always tripped me up. I don't remember what the cycle was. I think I just damage boosted through it with Donkey Kong or something, which I guess is not the right way to do it, but if it works. I don't know. Well, if you guys end up watching this, apologize again for yawning. I swear I'm not bored, I'm just tired. If you guys end up watching this, why don't you let me know what you've been playing? Also, I'm a little bit better than I'm doing right now. I'm trying to think of some other games that I played. I mean, I have like modern games that I play. I'm just thinking like of games that have come out recently. I guess I didn't need to do that. I haven't really played any. But like for a while I was playing the Crash Bandicoot remaster, which was fun. It was a little broken, but it was fun. Crash Team Racing I played for the first time. Like actually played it through. The remaster, that is. Damn it, no, it's just the same thing. And I didn't even make the jump. Man, this isn't looking good. I'm like playing like that reporter that played Cuphead, man. Oh, Cuphead, that was a good one. I played that too. That was great. Cuphead was funny to me because I don't know if it was marketed incorrectly or if people just like saw what they wanted to see. I think when it came out, a lot of people were like really surprised that it was like an ultra difficult like boss rush kind of game. There we go. So I found that funny. I'm trying to think. I was saying earlier, I don't know if I said earlier, there is a... Fuck, I need to actually pay attention here. There's a game I wanted to play called Vector Man, which was on the Genesis. And it was basically Genesis's answer to Donkey Kong, where they tried to make a kind of a platformer with really advanced graphics, and I heard it's like actually pretty good. I've always seen it, and I thought it was like, but I guess it's like pretty decent. So I'm gonna actually have to check that one out. That might be fun. I think the Genesis is a really underrated system. It's known for being like the bad boy system, where you know, like Nintendo was, man, just making dumb decisions here. Nintendo was more the family-friendly system, and Genesis had all the sports games and everything. But no, there's some good shit on Genesis. Now, I think the Super Nintendo is a better system than the Genesis. I mean, it's in terms of games, you know, you could argue that for your own personal choice. It was it's not even really an argument that it was the more advanced console in terms of graphical and sound capabilities. To be fair, it did come out 2 years later, and that was a time period where like they were like really pushing those kind of things, like really fighting the console wars. Although obviously that still happens now, but you know. Damn it. Hold on a second, folks. Okay, sorry about that. You know, I was playing this the other day because it came out on Switch Online, and I got like almost to the end of the game, but I wanted to play it on stream, like officially, and I did not struggle with this like at all. So I don't know what the fuck is going on right now. I'm gonna just say it's because of I'm tired and beer. Those are my excuses tonight. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Genesis. You see, the Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Damn it. This is my last try, so. No, there were some good games on the Genesis, though. Like, and the Genesis did have a couple advantages. I mean, it didn't have the graphics generally weren't as good. It didn't have as big of a color palette either, and the sound wasn't as good. It just wasn't. I mean, it used FM synthesis, which was very limited compared to some of the bullshit that Nintendo could pull off. But although the FM synthesis definitely worked in its favor for certain things, like Doom, for instance, sounded a lot better on the Genesis. That kind of gritty kind of sound really helped. But the Genesis also had a bigger resolution. Larger resolution, I guess I should say, which definitely helped for certain games. And it also, I think, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure, it was able to store more memory, or it had more RAM, and that allowed for certain games to have extra levels and things like that, which is pretty cool. Man, I'm just terrible tonight. Two games I can think of are Earthworm Jim, had an extra level on the Genesis, and Toy Story had an extra level, which was like a Doom-style first-person shooter level, which was pretty cool. Yeah, see, this is the shit I hate, how you have to go all the way back. Because I, like, can't play this fucking level. Earthworm Jim, a lot of people say that the Genesis version of Earthworm Jim is better. I think it was initially made for the Genesis and then they ported it to the SNES. But I gotta be honest, I think that the SNES one is better. I know that's probably a controversial opinion to some. The Genesis version definitely has like a simplistic thing about it that is really cool. but the Genesis version has, or like, I don't know why I'm talking about this. This is like a really niche subject, but like the Genesis version of Earthworm Jim has really like plain backgrounds, whereas the Super Nintendo has like really cool painted backgrounds and everything. It's really cool. Wow. But that's an instance where I think the sound is actually better on the Genesis version. Like the gun sounds and stuff work better with that synthesis, FM synthesis, or synthesizer, whatever it's called. Dude, what the fuck, man? And it has another level, so. But at the same time, I like the graphics better in the Super Nintendo version. There's also some games that are pretty much the same, but then, like, because they were ported to the Super Nintendo rather than initially built for them, they have some issues, that things they didn't care about as much back in the day, or they couldn't patch them. Like, you know, everybody always talks about The Lion King for being this notoriously difficult game. And it is very hard. And, you know, I hate to burst everyone's bubble, but that Lion King game, it's not really that good. It's just kind of a nostalgic thing. I mean, it's fine, but it's not really like that great. A lot of the difficulty in that game just comes from bad game design rather than actual difficulty. However, on the Genesis version, it's substantially easier than the Super Nintendo version. A lot of the like ridiculously tight platforming and stuff in that game that a lot of people talk about as being one of the hard parts of the game, it works a lot better in the Genesis version if you play the two, which I've played them back to back just to kind of test it. Oh, cool. It's like it doesn't really work that well in the Super Nintendo version. The controls are like really not responsive, and in the Genesis version they're like very responsive. This is kind of weird. I'm like not getting anything. So I don't know. Just kind of ranting, but those are some thoughts I've had. That might be a fun one to play, just to play it. Aladdin as well. You know, people talk about that too. Although they're two different games. The Genesis version and the SNES version of Aladdin are completely different games. And I don't know enough about that to know which one is like considered the better version. So I don't know, but I'd like to play it. I've never played it, so I'd like to play that. And then I always also wanted to play, oh, what was it? It's on Genesis. Echo the Dolphin. That one I've played a little bit of. And I also want to play Toe Jam and Earl. That looks like a lot of fun. I've never played that. They just came out with a new one, but the original, I want to play that. That looks like, it's kind of like a procedurally generated kind of game. Almost like a roguelike in a way, with a really cool soundtrack. I think that I would probably like that a lot. That might be one that we check out. Oh, I'm not going to make that jump. Have to scroll down. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to make that. I paused it at a bad spot. We're going to go a little bit longer here. I know it's not really a very long stream, but like I said, I just wanted to do a kind of a test, so to speak. But I think it's going to work out. So I might, I don't know. So this is going to sound, excuse me, I'm losing my voice a little. I'm not saying this to garner sympathy or begging for views or anything. But in all the years that I've been streaming, I really never had anyone watch me that much. And I mean, I'm not saying like I don't appreciate the people who watch me, they know who they are. Like I'm not talking about that, but a general audience, I've never really had that. Obviously, some of that's my own fault because I'm not consistent about it, but yeah, so like I'm not worried as much as some people would be about like where I'm streaming. Like
Like, I'm not like, oh, I'm trying to, like, get a big audience, and I'm, like, trying to get, like, subs and donations and all that. I'm not really worried about that, so, like, if YouTube's not quite as robust as, you know, as Twitch is, like, I don't really care. Heck, that's not as big of a deal as it is to me as it would be to some other people. Oh, what's up, boy? Sajak D. Freeze. I probably butchered your name. I'm sorry. Do you have a banana fragrance? Ah, see, I don't. I wish I did. Sorry, I'm like losing my voice, man. That's funny. That would be appropriate to wear right now, wouldn't it? I don't know of any fragrances that have banana as a note. I guess you could do like a Banana Republic fragrance. I'm pretty sure they make fragrances. Actually, speaking of which, I watched a video not that long ago of somebody reviewing a Banana Republic fragrance, and they said that it actually wasn't that bad for like a clothing store release. Sorry I didn't see your comment, man. This game is so much fun, but it is very difficult, and I'm not that great at it. And it makes me wonder, like, shit, a lot of these games were way harder back then. And people ask this question all the time, like, were we just better at these games as kids? or like, what was the deal, man? Because, like, they don't, like, obviously they make hard games now, but, like, this is like a generic, like, kids release kind of game. I'm like, because I know for sure, if I was like 5 years old playing this, I would not be making it past the first level. So, I don't know. Like, there's, like, I was saying earlier, I really like Diddy Kong Racing. Like, it's one of my favorite games. And I just played it recently. And I consider myself to be very good at that game. Like, I would say I'm, like, and I'm pretty, actually, I would be confident saying I'm excellent at that game. And it's still tricky. And I remember getting that game in 1996, and I'm like, how the hell did I play that game back then? Banana Republic Vintage Green is pretty good if you get it for cheap. Well, that sounds kind of interesting. Is it a green sort of fragrance? Because if it is, that sounds interesting to me. I've been really getting into green fragrances lately. I was never into them. And, oops, I always make that mistake. And lately, I've been really getting into them. Alright. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I like started losing my voice all of a sudden. This is the level that I was like totally screwing up earlier. So let's see if I can actually get past it. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble tonight. Like, there's also a game that came out last year called Ukulele and the Impossible Lair. It was by the people that made, obviously, Ukulele, which was kind of like a Banjo-Kazooie kind of game. It's the same people that made this game, basically. It's the same company. Well, it's not the same company, but it's the same, oh man. It's the same group of people, and it's supposed to be like this game, and it's really good, like really good, and it's very inexpensive. I think it was like $20. Fuck. And it's got like an overworld that you can go around to select a level that's kind of like Zelda, like with puzzles and stuff. Oh, I should have got that bonus barrel. That's okay. I just want to get out of this damn level. Holy crap, I had a lot of trouble with that. Stop and go. Oh, this one's cool. Alright, excuse me one moment. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Are you excited about the new console systems? Well, I was talking about that a little bit earlier. I play a lot of games. I feel like my heart is more in the classic games. Like I tend to enjoy them more. But I play all sorts of games. I think what it comes down to is that I'm a little bit disillusioned with like the modern practices of games, like things like microtransactions, and like games to me don't ever feel complete. Like they come out and they're kind of half-assed and all this sort of stuff. That sort of is this kind of stuff that like just makes me less and less excited. So that's kind of why I choose these games, and it's not just that. I just really like them. But I have a lot of PC games. Oh man. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. A lot of PC games. I have an Xbox One X. I mean, I've actually pretty much had every system at one point or another. PS3, all that. I was saying, like, there's not a lot recently that's come out that's, like, I've been excited about. There's not really been any releases that I've been, like, really dying to play. I don't know why. Wow. Oh, I missed the O. But I have the Xbox, you know, so if something comes out, I'm gonna play it. I have a Switch. I don't play the Switch too much, but when I do, it's really nice to be able to just... I don't know why I just saved my game twice. It's really nice to be able to kind of just pick it up and just, like, literally, like, lay down in bed and play it. Alright, I think I'm gonna try to get through this level and then I might be done. Well, actually, I don't know. If this is the last level in this world, then we'll try to do the boss too. Otherwise, we'll see. And then another thing too. Oops. And I'm sure this is the case for a lot of people, is like I just simply grew up on these games. So it's also, you know, like a nostalgia thing. Like, obviously there are newer games that give me a really good feeling when I play them, but since, you know, this is what I grew up on, it always feels comforting to play these. It's always a lot of fun that I can pick one of these up and just kind of like not have to think about anything, you know. I missed the K, huh? Well, I'm not really going for a completion. Oh fuck! I hate these these vultures, dude. Ah, damn. Oh, I didn't even remember getting the checkpoint. Also, I'm a little bit better at video games than you're probably seeing. I haven't streamed in a while, so it's kind of hard to, like, focus on two things for me. Alright, Donkey Kong. Calm down. There's this game, I gotta stream it. So there's a I was talking about this earlier. There is a program called Ness Maker, and it lets you make Nintendo games, or like original shit, NES games. You can make them without having to code. You don't have to know how to code. Now, it's not easy. You still have to learn game design and some programming. It's not simple, but it allows you to do it without having to write long strings of code. And it's really cool. And it's not like, you know, you're not making games in the style of the NES. You're literally making NES games that are playable on the actual hardware. So you can make the game and you can play it in an emulator, but you can also put it onto a cartridge and play it in right in an NES. I think that's really cool. I kind of want to get into that. I know it's going to be a really big project because it's a lot of work to learn how to make those games, but I feel like that would be a lot of fun. And I bring that up because there's a dude who's making a game for the NES on that program called Flea, and I thought it was really cool. It's basically a game. It's a platforming game where you play as a flea, but the trick with the game is that you're constantly jumping. You don't get to control your jump, so it kind of reminds me of Super Meat Boy, like very, very tight, precise platforming. Yeah, but the gimmick is that you're constantly jumping, so you have to like maneuver your timing and everything around the fact that you're always jumping. It's really cool. Very good graphics too. Like it's really, really well done. But it's not like I said, it's not made in the style of it is like actually an NES game. And he put out a demo, which I played through some of. I really, really, really want to get it when it comes out. It's going to come out on the actual cartridge. Oh man, this sucks. I know there's like one more bullshit section. Oh, thank God. He's doing a Kickstarter. I can't remember the dude's name that's making it, but he's doing a Kickstarter so that you can actually get the cartridges produced and stuff like that. And I don't have a Ness right now. I'd love to get one, but I would love to get that, man. Let's save the game. That would be smart. But I'll definitely play that demo on stream because that was like really caught my interest. It was really fun. Very creative too, man. It's cool seeing people go back and make new NES games now with like all the knowledge that we have of video games now, and seeing how creative people can be and how they can really push the system to its limits now that we're like well aware of what the limits are. Oh shit. Fucking necky, man. Oh, that was the first hit? This asshole is annoying, man. Oh, darn. Uh-oh. You see that? I got one life left. Okay, I can't fuck it up. This music kind of reminds me of Legends of the Hidden Temple, which was a great show. Okay. Hell yeah. Cool. Alright, I'm actually going to end it there. And, not a long one, like I said, but I wanted to get a test stream out and see how it went. And I think I'm going to keep doing this. I don't know how often I am, but, yeah, man, I think I'm going to keep streaming on here. Sajak, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but thanks for stopping in, dude. It is always good to see people stopping in and stuff. Nice chatting with you. If anyone else was here, thank you for watching. Yeah, I'll be back at some point. If you guys want to know when I'm gonna stream on here, I would suggest subscribing to my Twitter, because I always post there before I go live, just so you know. And my Twitter is exactly the same as my YouTube. It's EastRiverG3. I'll just post there if I'm gonna go live. So anyways, thank you for watching. Everybody have a wonderful night.